Welcome back to another week of Starset Studio podcast. Today we are only joined by my buddy here, the Cloud Dragon, also known as Jared. Say hi, Jared.
Hello?
Hey. So, it's been about a week and, the ear rape guy is gone. So we won't be hearing from him this week. Jared, how was your week? How's your week been? Anything happen?
Been pretty uneventful. My Xbox decided to take a shit on me, but that's pretty much about it. I finally got my schedule about school and all the classes I'm going to take, so that's pretty cool.
I saw your schedule. That's a major oofers. I even messaged you oof. So, what do you think about your schedule this year?
Well, I noticed that one of the classes that I signed up for, the teacher didn't allow me to be put in that class again because I don't have it up here. But it's probably gonna be fairly easy. PE is PE. I got foods that's gonna be easy. English I'm good at. Math is gonna be difficult as always, but it's math, so
Math is easy, my guy.
Well, not everyone's a fucking smart ass, okay?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Numbers just agree with me. Well, but PE, are you like an athletic guy, my guy? From a scale from let's see, Will Ferrell to The Rock, where do you fall in between?
I'll have to go with Will Ferrell. I'm the kid that can do exercise. Like, obviously he could run, he could do the fucking amount of push-ups that the teacher tell him to. But once you get free time, I'm just sitting in the corner of the fucking gym on my phone, watching porn.
You watch porn in school, my guy?
I'd have to browse what's on Pornhub.
God, I remember when we had our quote-unquote breaks, we'd go to the library and we'd ask the librarian, because she was really nice to us, we'd ask her to go on the computer. Little did she know, we went on the computer to watch basically watch old men masturbate, because we went on Omegle, and that wasn't a great experience, man. For some reason they all shaved their nuts. It was really gross. If you've ever been on Omegle, especially 14, 15 years old, it's not really a good idea to stay on camera staring at the giant gray sack of nuts.
Why is it gray?
And because the 5 o'clock shadow, man.
I didn't know that affected the balls.
Exactly, that's why they were gray, man. It was traumatizing. But anyway, you said. Yeah, you've been complaining about your Xbox. What's been going on? Because that's been going on for a couple weeks now, not just
going on for
now.
like a couple days. But after the first podcast, I turned off my Xbox to give it some chill time, and it wouldn't turn back on. Actually, it has been a week then. I'm fucking stupid. But so I think we, found the problem is the power brick that supplies, the power to the Xbox is either faulty, the wiring loose, or some shit, and it doesn't supply enough power to the Xbox to keep it on. It's turned on, it turns on for a second. I'm not sure if it picked it up, but then it turns completely off. And then I'm stuck here with basically a useless VCR.
Useless VCR. Oh man, what have you been doing now that you can't play?
I have been watching YouTube, playing Minecraft on, the realm we have, and I just been sitting on my bed beating it.
Oh God, I don't really want to know that. But have you seen that Minecraft has made a big comeback, right? We haven't really, I haven't really played any. I just played a couple hours in the past 2 weeks. But it's made like a major comeback, and a lot of YouTubers have started going on on different sessions and just like I think they have new mini games.
Yeah.
And all these YouTubers are streaming Minecraft. What do you think? What do you think brought everyone back to play Minecraft?
Well, Minecraft in the base core have always been a fun game, but I feel like you can only play so much of it before you get eventually like, oh, either I need to mod this game or I had enough of it, because it's basically the same old that will just happen. You spawn in a world, you go get fucking iron, then diamonds, then make obsidian, then go kill the ender dragon, and then do everything in between. But I feel like one of the main reasons why Minecraft is so good is because the violence is pretty kiddish, and so YouTubers are not getting monetized, are getting monetized when they play it instead of demonetized because they want to play a game like Siege or Mortal Kombat 11 that shows graphic blood, X-rays, and all this shit.
But like, it doesn't really matter if some YouTubers don't really care if they're playing a game that would get them monetized, because their language isn't really something that people would want to hear. It isn't family friendly, I'm trying to say.
And then maybe they just want to play it to have fun, because sometimes you can just hop on it and you can have fun playing Minecraft if you have a bunch of friends and you do fun shit.
But yeah, I've been actually watching the streams and the YouTube videos on Minecraft, and I've gotten a little hooked on it too. I think I want to play a little bit this week, a little bit of Minecraft, because it just there's that nostalgia that reminds me of the good old days when I was younger and playing Minecraft, and I actually never got to the Ender Dragon. I've never completed the actual main story of the game, but I've seen today, for example, I saw Wildcat and Moose Knuckle. They were playing Minecraft, and they went into the Ender Dragon world. I don't even know what it's called, but it was already defeated. They already defeated the Ender Dragon, and then they found another portal that took them to another part of that world, and they found like a fortress, and that fortress led up, and there were chests, and there was like a floating boat, and like I didn't even know there was another level to this area after defeating the Ender Dragon. So that seemed like actual fun.
It is. I'm not sure if you call it new. It was added a couple years ago, but basically.
Oh, Lamau. I haven't been on in that long. Wow.
Yeah. Basically, they made a place, a different realm called the End City, which spawns a bunch of cool shit, like, the boats and shit. And you can find something called the Elytra, or something around those lines, where it's basically a pair of rings that they give you that lets you fly around once you get a certain momentum and height. And you find that in the End City. You can also find shulker boxes and end rods that looks basically like lightsabers and shit.
And what's that new because I was watching the gameplay, what's that new enemy that like I think he shoots balls of energy that are homing missiles or something like that? Have you seen that?
I can't recall what you're saying off the top of my head now. I do know the shulker boxes, they shoot this kind of homing ball that when it hits you, it levitates you. But it only lasts
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But what's the enemy that shoots that?
A shulker box, that's the name. Shulkers are the name.
And what are they?
It's like a purple chest that opens up, they fire this ball, and it hits you and makes you levitate in the air, which is pretty cool, but the downside is you can be hit by multiple and keep flying up, and then once the levitation spell wears off, you basically plummet to your death.
Oh man, that sounds really fun though. I really want to get back into it. whenever you get your Xbox fixed. Maybe we can actually do the story and complete the Ender Dragon and then get to that part, because I've never actually completed a survival game. So that actually be pretty cool.
I got you. We can do yeah, I got you. We can do that.
Speaking of games, Gamescom was this week, and you mentioned a game called Vigor, I think it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
So how'd you come by that?
I honestly didn't find it from Gamescom. I was just watching a YouTube video and it popped up and it looks interesting. I'm like, okay, you know what? You got my attention. I'll actually watch the ad. I usually skip them. But it was this, from what I gather, this shoot and loot game. You got put into this world. You can build a base and you find stuff to build up. You build up, make weapons and all this stuff. And you can kill other players, probably kill each other. And I would figure that would be good enough for both of us to find at least a one-time enjoyment from it, from killing each other or trying to dominate the whole server.
Yeah, I watched a random YouTuber who was playing it, and he said that he had some like DayZ vibes.
It is, I believe, it is made by the same company as DayZ, Bohemia Entertainment or something like that.
I saw a little bit of the gameplay, and you have your main base, but your main base is completely separate from everything else. It's sort of open world, but you have to press on certain areas to teleport, I guess, and then that's when you actually start playing the game. And then I saw that you had to get boxes that has materials, and then you go back to your house and then actually use the materials to better your house and blah blah blah. But did you actually see if you could group up with friends and go into servers, or because I just saw one video. I'm not sure how it works.
From what I saw in the ad, I believe they mentioned something to be like, hey, play with your friends, dominate the whole thing. Because I did see in the video a group of people walking together. I'm not sure if there's like a clan system, or is it just like, hey, I'm not going to kill you, let's just walk around together type things. But I did see at least a group of people together at some parts.
Well, it sounds kind of cool. I'd like to play it, yeah. And whenever you get your stupid Xbox fixed, it'd be fun. And there's a couple other games. I don't know, because I didn't even know Gamescom existed until I started seeing a bunch of videos pop up. But I saw they started showing gameplay from different stuff that I'm very, very interested in. The first one is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is an RPG, and this, like, fuck, dude, I've never seen a Dragon Ball game like this. I don't know if you've seen the latest trailer, but you're basically playing as Goku, and you live his life. Like, you don't just fight, you actually live his life during the Dragon Ball Z whole saga. And I saw gameplay, and there's a part where you're flying the Nimbus, and you're controlling where you're flying, and Gohan's on your shoulder, and then you decide to go home, and Chi-Chi tells you, hey, you need to go fishing or blah 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 and get us some food. And you go and get the food, and you come back and she cooks for you, and then I saw that there was an eating mini game, which was kind of retarded, but I guess they wanted to put that in there. And then after that, you see Goku driving a fucking car. And he just, like GTA style, he's just relaxing driving a car. And then you actually see the fighting, and the fighting looks good. It looks like a Xenoverse, which I wasn't really a fan of Xenoverse, but the gameplay seems something like that. And the creator said you could play as Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo, and Vegeta. And I'm kind of stoked. This game seems very, very different. Right now, the most fun I've had with the Dragon Ball Z game was Tenkaichi 3
That was
and
that.
uh and
That was
Dragon Ball Fighters. Dude, Tenkaichi 3 had
man.
so many characters, man. It had so many characters. Uh, I
Back in the
played it
day,
for my
if you
Wii.
had beef, you got on and you just fought someone Taikenchi.
Oh man, we did not get enough of that game. That game was so fun. Even though the frame rate dropped because you decided to do a Kamehameha and a Spirit Bomb right after, and like the frame rate just dropped immensely, and like a couple of times, it even froze my game. It was just so fun. I have no idea what happened to that game.
Yeah, I don't understand why the series died. It could have really evolved and be something amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, or I don't get why they can't remake something like that. I guess it was just too many characters, and like they can't they can't keep the standard of graphics and have that many characters at the same time, or something like that. I have no idea. Um, but I'm really hoping this Dragon Ball game actually turns out to be great because it looks really different. I'm really excited for it. Growing up with Dragon Ball Z, some people don't, they might call me a weeb, but fuck those guys like Jay. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. You should watch the latest trailer.
I'll try. Well, since you picked a game you're happy for, a game I'm really excited about, which hard to believe because it's fucking Call of Duty, is Modern Warfare. I am fucking stoked about it, and I'm afraid that I'm hyping myself up too much for it because the previous Call of Duties have been kind of a letdown, but I cannot just. Every time I watch gameplay of it, I just get excited and I'm ready to fucking go.
I actually saw some gameplay from Gamescom today. It was a 2v2 on Call of Duty. It was a very small map. It was pretty dark though. They're using like uh, I guess real life lighting because it looked really dark,
It's
but it was cool.
apparently they have this night mode realism, where you have to use night vision with laser sights.
Oh, dude, I saw that. I saw that. That got me stoked. That was really really cool. Like, dude, just I hope they have like custom games, so we could just all go into one place, and I could annoy the hell out of Jay in the dark.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun. I just hope we all get it.
Oh, I
Um.
already pre-order it, so.
Oh wow, you're one of those fucking nerds.
Hey man,
Right then.
I am like counting down the days. It comes out on October 25th. I'm stoked. I pre-ordered it. I'm ready to fucking go and race all my life on Call of Duty once again.
Excuse me, I have never pre-ordered a game in my entire life, and I feel
Very few games I actually go and pre-order because most of the time I like to see, well, is it well received? Does it become something? And the main important factor, I am poor and broke. That
Wait,
affect-
okay. Tell me some of the games you've pre-ordered.
Um, I have pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3 because
Ugh.
goddamn right, it's the first Kingdom Hearts to come on Xbox. You best believe I'm going to get that. Yeah.
What a bitch, but it's all right. It's what you like.
And if I could, I would pre-order Final Fantasy fucking 7, the remake, for Xbox, but they don't want to make it for Xbox, and I'm really sad about that. But we'll talk about that another time. I fucking hate them.
What are you mumbling? Speak up, bastard.
So
Sorry.
I hate that they didn't do the remake for Final Fantasy 7 for Xbox One.
Oh yeah. Didn't they announce it for Xbox One in the beginning?
I swear to God they did. I absolutely promise. I remember that. But
Yeah, I thought they did too, and then I think it became a PlayStation 4 exclusive. And I'm not really a Final Fantasy fan, but I saw that game, and I've heard that the original was really really good story wise. So I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely get this, and then it became an exclusive.
You can actually buy the original Final Fantasy VII on the Xbox Store. They allow you to do that. But I am a huge Final Fantasy fan. I stopped playing it a lot with the newer things, but my two favorite Final Fantasy. My first one is Final Fantasy VII with Cloud Strife, and my second is Final Fantasy VIII with Squall, Leon Hart. I don't know how to say his last name.
Ugh.
But
Right.
Final Fantasy VII was Cloud Strife is my idol, and I love him. He actually the main reason why I prefer the nickname Cloud and have the Cloud Dragon Warren as my name. As a matter of fact, as we're talking, I have a Cloud Stripe shirt on. I have his necklace. I have a Cloud Stripe jacket behind me, and I have his sword necklace to the left of me. And I have some ramen of him and a bunch of figurines behind me of Cloud Strife.
Shout out to the fucking weebs like Jared.
Hey, you do not disrespect Cloud Strife. He is a god among men. He is amazing and beautiful, and I love him.
Is he even a man? Looks
He
like
is.
a woman.
Don't ever
Oh.
fucking disrespect Cloud Strife like that, okay?
Ooh.
If you want to say a woman, look up Tifa.
All right. I don't know what you're referencing there, but guessing you watch quite a bit of porn on Final Fantasy. It's all right though, Jared. There's no judgment here. All right. You mentioned that, and then I had another game I wanted to talk about, which was the Avengers game. They showed some gameplay.
Is that the one where they be like, never meet your idols, but I did, and everything went to shit? Or
I think so. Yeah. It looks. It's Square Enix, and the gameplay, like the graphics, they look kind of real. Captain America looks like a SWAT man. Have you seen that?
I think so. I've never seen a trailer for one Avenger thing.
Okay, so they had a trailer, but they mostly just showed off cinematics, I think, and then some of the story. But yesterday they had a trailer come out, a gameplay trailer from Gamescom, and they had it come out. They showed gameplay for all the Avengers, and I gotta say, it looks really good, and I'm really interested in the story because they like doing an original story. But the fighting, it just seems like it could get old really fast. They have these combos, and they said they wanted to focus more on like God of War 4, that kind of combat style. But God of War 4 looked really fun. I don't have a PlayStation. I've only watched people play it, but it looked really fun. Like the way he used the axe, and it looked fast paced and like good combos. But this Avengers game, it looked good, but the combos and the gameplay, it seemed like it could be repetitive, and I'm a little frightened on that, because I played games like Bayonetta, and I want to play games like Devil May Cry, which like it has a very different style to fighting, and they if you've seen the gameplay of Bayonetta, they like sexualize a lot of stuff, and then it's really funny, and it's funny to watch. But slow gameplay is what's really worrying me about this. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it whenever you can, because I'm an Avengers fan. I like Marvel. Really bummed out that Spider-Man wasn't for Xbox. Like you're bummed out that Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm bummed out about Spider-Man, but it's not the same thing. Spider-Man's better.
Oh, okay. That's not a conversation you want to open with me. I would ride Cloud Strife's dick like a bitch, okay?
Oh god, that's an amazing image in my head. What else was I gonna say? There was a couple other games that I'm very excited about. Blair Witch. Have you ever seen the movie?
Um, which version of the movie?
The first one.
I don't believe I've seen the first one, but I have seen a Blair Witch Project style movie, and I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It was nice. It scared the shit out of me. And it was nice to see basically them get picked off one by one.
The Blair Witch movie was really good because people, the first time people saw it, they thought it was, a found footage thing. A lot of people thought it was real, even though it was just a film.
Can't be. Isn't it like based on a real story actually?
What?
I said, isn't that Blair Witch Project based on an actual story though?
I think it's based on a story. I don't remember. But the game is basically you're a detective and you're trying to find a missing child, and you take your dog with you and you go into the woods and you start seeing the Blair Witch signs all over, and the Blair Witch starts hunting you, and it seems really good. You don't really have a gun. You only have your dog.
What type of fucking detective are we?
I have no idea. You're just looking for the kid, man. But you have a dog. His name is Bullet, and that's basically the only weapon you have. You have Bullet to scare off the Blair Witch, and you have your camcorder, which has a light, and I think that's all you have.
Outlast type thing with the camcorder.
I don't know. Outlast. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. And then you can command your dog, and it says that you have to keep a good relationship with your dog, or else it's gonna affect your gameplay later on in the game, and that sounds really interesting.
The dog can basically be like, "Fuck your ass, I'm getting out of here."
Exactly.
Oh great. Okay. Well, I'm glad. Okay, so let me break down the game. We're a fucking shitty ass detective who didn't bring a gun. Her dog can become a backstabber. Talk about a man's best friend right there. And we're looking for a missing child. Is the detective aware that it could be possibly the Blair Witch? Does he believe that, or does he be like, oh, it's just some crazy?
I mean, there's always legends. Like in the movie, they know because there's legends around town about the Blair Witch, and I think he knows about the legends, but I don't think he believes in them because he's just going into the woods with a dog, unarmed and with a camera, and
it's hard to believe we're not a detective here. We're such a fucking, what, I got a camera, I'm good enough. Fuck the fucking Rich, she'll be alright.
God, dude, just imagine going to the woods in there, man.
I mean, fucking, it worked out in Slenderman, right?
Slenderman sucked.
Hey, man. Like, the first couple of Slendermans, the concept is good, and then...
Yeah, when it came out as a creepypasta and the first game, it was scary. But then I made
was pretty good, actually.
I made a bad purchase with Slenderman: The Arrival.
Oh.
God, dude, I don't know what they did. They had Slenderman, and then you go to another level, and there was a little bitch just running around.
Okay, Slenderman, and that's his proxy.
His proxy.
Basically, children that he corrupts. I love Slenderman: The Arrival. His proxy used to scare the shit out of me more than what he did. Fucking hate Charlie. I hate him with a fucking passion.
His name was Charlie, or you just named him his proxy?
No, one of them was named Charlie.
One of them? How many were there? I remember a hooded.
This one wasn't hooded. I know it was behind the house of the first level, and then you found this like button-down place, like a button-down forest in a house. You walk into the house and you see a grayed-out proxy crying in the corner, and beside it is a paper, or he had Charlie with black fucking chalk or something on the wall. So I just started calling him Charlie, and I would walk to him, be like, "Oh hey, a fucking little bitch crying. Let me go help him." He jump scares me, and I fucking got pissed and screamed like a bitch. It's not fun.
God damn.
I can't remember.
How old were you when you started playing that?
I was in middle school. I want to say it was like the sixth grade,
Jesus, Jared.
seventh, around that. So I want to say about 12, 13, around that age, if I did my math correctly, which I didn't do any math, I just said a random number, so.
God, you had some balls of steel there, man. Sixth grade and looking at that stuff. At sixth grade, I was looking at the Human Centipede. So that just teaches you what I've been looking at, man. I got messed up really early. By the way, don't watch that, people. It's a very bad film. The only person who seemed to enjoy the Human Centipede was Jay, who's Boss Man. He really liked that film. For some reason, I don't know. It was really disgusting.
You want to know something I always thought would be a good movie and horror game concept? I don't know. I don't have much thought in this. Okay. One thing I do truly love is Plague Doctors. I fucking love them with passion. Their concept, the evilness that could be behind them. And if you do it correctly, you could make a fucking great horror film with a Plague Doctor and a horror game with a Plague Doctor.
Plague Doctor?
Yeah. You not. They were basically around during the Black Plague, and they was supposed doctors, with quotation marks around the name, who would be here to cure you. Basically, all they did was kill you to stop the plague from spreading. But they had this elephant-shaped mask with the nose. I'm not sure if you call it elephant, but the nose was protruding and long. And they would actually stuff roses or flowers, daisies up the holes of the nose to block the smell of dead bodies. And their job was to stop the plague from spreading. Like, you need to look a picture of them. It's a really cool, and I like them.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard of that. What about I mean, there's basically always one killer in these horror flicks and like in games. But what about real horror? I don't know if you've ever heard the stories of these serial killers. Like, I don't want to use Ted Bundy because Ted Bundy was one of the one of the most famous ones. I forgot his name. He was a guy that wore glasses, and what he basically did was when he was a kid, he'd grab dead animals and he'd dissect them and he'd look into them and blah blah blah. And his dad, yes, he's famous. I just don't remember his name. He had like blonde hair. Let me search it. A famous serial killer.
Oh, I could go ask my mom. She is really into serial killers.
I got his name. Your mom is just an encyclopedia of serial killers.
I have a encyclopedia of serial killers.
Jesus Christ.
She does. She have a whole book of not every serial killer, but pretty famous ones. Her favorite is Charles Manson.
Her favorite's Charles Manson?
One of her favorites, at least.
Your mom's into very kinky stuff, my guy. You gotta watch out. His name was Jeffrey Dahmer. So,
I think she had mentioned him.
So what Jeffrey did was he grew up with these animals, and his dad was a scientist, so he just thought that his son was a very curious person, and he thought nothing of it. He just let him do his thing, look inside of these animals, and what he didn't know was Jeffrey started to I think actually kill animals to look inside them, and when he started growing into a teenager, he started growing more sexual in his killings. So he was homosexual, right?
Wait.
He would run. I mean, he would watch someone running. Okay, this guy, he really liked his body, so he just watched him run every day, and then one day he decided to hide in the bushes and get some rope and tape ready, I think, and hit this guy with a bat, and and he wanted to do stuff to him. You know, he wanted to experience the male body. He wanted to rape him and blah blah blah. So he had this planned out. But right when he hid in the bushes and he decided to do this thing, the Running Man didn't show up, and thank God he didn't, man. This guy was messed up. He grew up, and he decided to join the military, but they kicked him out of the military because they got complaints that he was raping other soldiers. So they took him out of the military because he was doing that while they were sleeping, and he tied them up. And oh god, this guy was a horrible monster. And this is like a real life horror story. This is just horrible. And why haven't they ever turned this stuff into like a movie or a game? Because this guy, after he went to the military, he started drinking, and when he went to gay bars, he would lure men back to his place, and he'd tell them, hey, stay here and blah blah blah, and they wouldn't. So he'd kill them, and then he'd rape them, and then he'd take pictures of them dead after he raped them.
Oh yeah.
And then he'd put them in acid and burn their bodies, and like he'd keep their testicles or oh man, it was just a horrible person, dude. I can't believe that stuff happened.
My mother has some phobia of this person, and I believe her key was of describing him was he was just looking for love.
What? Who said that?
That would be my mother.
Why? What? No. What is wrong with your mom? No, man.
She has this weird thing where she sometimes sympathizes with the killers, and she can see it from their point of view. She'll probably kill me eventually. Actually, now that I mention it.
Oh God, man. That's,
but she
fuck?
like out everything. You like, oh, I'm pretty sad. He was just looking for love.
Jesus fuck, dude. What? You can't sympathize with someone like that, man. Like, jeez. Oh my God. Gotta watch your back, man. Gotta watch your back. He was looking for love, but he was looking for a love where he could control them. Okay. At one point, he didn't want them to die, so
I believe he made something what my mom referred to as zombie sex slaves. He tried to do that.
That's what he wanted to do, but he would like make a hole in their skull and pour acid in it, and they'd start bleeding and they'd start like becoming a vegetable in sorts, but they usually die right after doing that.
He just wanted love.
He just wanted love, dude. So he drilled a hole in their fucking skull and put Kool-Aid down their skull to see if it worked.
What? Doesn't matter how he did it. He was doing it for a good cause. He just wanted to feel love.
God damn it, Jared.
As a human, allowed to judge them? Okay.
Yes, Jared. There's, God, dude, who would do that, man?
It was a bad time, okay? Homosexuals got killed, okay? He did.
Oh, so homosexuals got killed, so he says, hey, maybe the gays should rise up and kill instead. And not even kill straight people, kill his own kind, man.
He wanted love, okay?
Cool, dude. He wanted love, so just rape the dead bodies, man.
He was self-conscious, so he wanted a zombie sex slave. He didn't want the idea of them ever leaving. Okay, that sounds... I think I'm gonna stop here now.
Jared, listen, if you had a roommate and you opened up his fridge and you saw that there was a testicles floating in water, what would you do, Jared?
How long have I been with this roommate, and why am I noticing now is my first couple of questions.
Well, you're just noticing because you're a stupid retard. And I'd say that you've been living with him about 6 months.
Oh, okay, then I really am fucking stupid, ain't I?
So what would you do? What would you do if you were friends with someone? Because everyone says these serial killers look like totally normal people. What would you do if you found out one of your closest friends were killing people in their spare time and raping their dead bodies and then burying them. What would you do, Jared?
Be like, why ain't you killing the people I hate? Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I would.
We're doomed. We're doomed.
Hey,
God
I am
damn it.
a ride or die type of person, okay? All my friends I make, I'm pretty much family with them, okay? If they're out doing some shit, I'm either with them hiding the body, or I'm coming up with a cover story. Okay, everyone needs an alibi.
God, Jared.
I'm with my friends to end, okay?
Jesus, Jared.
Now, that go
God.
for the couple, okay? If it was like Crystal out there killing people, I would be right beside her doing it. I'm not riding her out to save anything. I would never tell a goddamn thing about Crystal.
Okay, Jared.
Me and her,
Just-
we are ride or die, motherfucker, okay?
Right, Jared. So you're basically just gonna tell me you
I ain't
cover for
saying,
them.
all I'm saying is I got their back, okay?
All right, Jared. I can see that the Jared household is kind of fucked up right now.
Hey,
And is everything good at home? You know.
yes, I believe so. I don't have a gun
Oh,
to my
man.
head right now.
But there's usually a time of the year where I'm just very, very interested in murder and like mystery stories, and then other times I'm just
See,
into aliens.
it's
and
like
then-
that at my household, but it's every day, and my mom and have this whole group of people where you just talk about killers and everything, all fun about them.
Your mom just has your mom's just the leader of a like a book club, but it's called Killer of the Week, and they just
She
go
is-
every Saturday to talk about killers.
She is not the leader, but the co-leader of several of them.
Jesus.
I would say co-leader, but she is at least a moderator, a very high up there person.
Well, that sounds fun.
But she is not a killer. She just, likes to know about killers.
I know she's not a killer, Jared.
I just want to point that out there. I bet, maybe.
God, Jared.
But I'm,
So when they're talking about these killers ripping out people's fleshes, do they usually have some snacks?
well, yeah. My mom would watch a fucking anything about serial killer. In fact, she get pissed off if they get caught in a dumb way. She get like, you fucking goddamn idiot. She get legit fucking pissed. Like, I'm trying to remember a story of one person. I can't remember. Hold on. I'll text my mom right now while I'm telling it. But, she get livid. She get really pissed if they get caught very stupidly. Like, they do something, they rat themselves out, or do something like that. She get like, why the fuck you do that? You were perfectly fine before, but then you have to be all shitted. You have to be all, jealous or something and want attention, so fuck you.
Dude, your mom's just basically a sideline cheerleader for these guys, man. They just she'd be getting upset, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I would have done it this way." Jesus, man. Your mom's a very interesting cookie, my guy.
Yeah.
Should have her on the podcast one day.
I can go get her right now. I texted her to see what is the killer story. I can't remember it. I know there's one that get my mom slightly mad. Was this guy was killing for like a good couple of months, and he didn't get caught. Oh yes, I remember it. So anyway, he would kill a bunch of people, and he didn't get caught. But he more and more attention on him for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
So he called the police station because the police were like, if you have anything, blah, 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 tell us. So he called the police station saying, hey, can you trace a floppy disk or something like that?
Okay.
The police were like, no, we can't trace a floppy disk. That's way above what we have. So he sent a floppy disk or something around that full of all the shit that proves he was a killer. and they traced that shit right back to him. And I had
Was
my,
it the Unabomber?
I believe so. I can't remember.
Because the Unabomber was sending bombs to people and killing them, and he was like so cocky that he decided to like give hints or something, and then they found him out.
That sounds familiar, but I know that's one of the fucking thing that makes my mom pissed with the fact that the police were like, no, no, we can't tracing shit back. That's above our technology, and they just trace it right back to him, and it fucking had my mom fucking living for weeks.
What about ones that haven't been caught, like the Zodiac? What does she think about that?
I think it's she obviously said it's some very fucked up shit, man.
Uh
But
huh.
I think it's very intriguing to watch it and see, like, 'cause even I sat down one time and watched a special about the Zodiac, and I'm like, well, this is actually, it's cool to see the human mind come up with these concepts and these riddles, and it's cool to see the human mind be able to evolve to something like this, but it been put in a bad way. Cause
Mhm.
that him, Jack the Ripper, all these people, Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, in some way, they all had outstanding intelligence in some shape or form,
Yeah.
and it interesting to see them have this much intelligence and then be able to come up with these concepts behind what they did.
I mean, the studies of these things are fairly new. We still don't know much about what's going on in their heads, but I think that they're so smart and they don't feel as much emotion because that they think more logically, and because they're so smart, they think that like everyday people are basically just worthless, and that's why they decide to kill and stuff like that, and then they get the craving for it. Um,
I mean,
that's just what I think. There's a
if
lot of
you ever
stuff that could be there.
I seen a meme of Charles Manson, but the Charles Manson dancing, you remember that? And if you ever seen that, Charles Manson, when every time he says something, he knew what he was saying. He made people feel in exactly the way he wanted. Everyone thought he was insane, so you know what he did? He acted insane. But I think he is like the farthest from insane. Obviously, he's not in the same. I guess you can count insane, but he's not insane in a way that is mentally unstable. He knew what he was doing. He has far more intelligence than the normal person. He made sure everything went his way, even while caught.
I mean, this guy was incredibly intelligent because he didn't. Not only did he kill, he got other people to kill other people. So he made this cult, man. And I don't know about that insane stuff. Maybe you're saying that he put on an act.
Yeah, he basically, if you look it up, there's a meme at least of it of Charles Manson Dance Dance Revolution, and then I believe a little couple seconds before it, he'd be like, "You want to see something insane?" And he gets up from the chair and start acting insane. He made sure everything he said and planned was everything that you know were thought out carefully and were done his way. It's like as soon as he entered the room, he's the one that owned it, not you.
Hmm.
And that's very interesting, even though he is a very bad person and a serial killer, but it's very interesting to see the human mind like that.
Right. And what about nowadays, Jared? Why do you think there's a lot less serial killers in these modern times? What do you think happened?
Maybe it's hard to live up and compare to, I guess, so-called the greats. uh,
But
maybe, I don't know. Maybe just some people don't have the urge to go kill people, which is a very good thing.
I don't think that's it though, because there's always someone hiding with these thoughts. Um, you think it's maybe social media now that we're more connected?
Yeah, maybe, but
Like if you go out, for example, uh, someone always has to know where you are, right? do you always have someone knowing exactly where you're going?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I just, get out of this house, just walk down to Walmart, does my own thing. No, yeah, I guess that's a fair point. I see your thing, yes. Most of the time, at least a person know my general whereabout.
So yeah, I guess nowadays more in the west than the east, because in the east you still have a lot of villages where people still disappear and they never show up again. But there's still cases where people find other people that have been missing for 10, 20 years, and they've been living in someone's basement this entire time. And that just amazes me how someone could hide a human being. And sometimes they've raped these humans, and the women that been raped have had children, and they had like this whole secret family in their basement. And it freaks me out, man. That kind of stuff happens. Like, if I'm gonna have children one day, it just freaks me out.
I mean, the human mind is a very interesting and very complex, amazing thing. And yeah, it is. Yeah, you always have to be scared. Be like, oh, I could get fucking raped, but I don't see it like that, because I can't just live being scared I'm gonna get fucking kidnapped any moment of the day. But I don't ever go anywhere where I'm not protected. I have a knife or I have something on me that at least can do something, and I'll go. Hey, I'm going out with a fight. Okay, I can guarantee that.
This guy's carrying a butter knife everywhere. You just you take out a butter knife with you, and you're.
Yeah, I just go in the kitchen and be like, "All right, Mom, I'm going to leave now." It's like, okay, just show where the fucking go.
All right.
But no, actually, I have this fucking beautiful blue knife.
All right, man. But well, we've been talking for about 50 minutes. I think we're gonna just end it here, man. It's been a very, very nice talk.
I don't understand why it became a killer special right now, but okay.
I can't. We just started talking about your mom. Well, I guess that'll be the end of this podcast. We had a nice time without a legend, and all right, my mom was screaming at me. She lost her laptop apparently. So we're gonna end up this podcast here. Oh, we missed our good dear friend Poor Legend, who had some problems with his mic. And
hopefully next time we'll have our good friend Mishi up here, but
yeah, the Arab. Legend had some trouble because he walked in on his brother having sex with his girlfriend, so he had an awkward situation to figure out there. But it's been a nice podcast. We'll be uploading here. It was great, man. Great talking about your mother.
Yes.
And make sure to join us next week on the next podcast, hoping to have more people on. I hope you enjoy, and have a nice night. Say bye, Jared.
Goodbye.
With enthusiasm.
Goodbye.